Is it happening? All right, it is happening. We are live. All right, hello everybody. Thanks for being here so much. This is Hall Yeah Comics. I'm Nate, and I'm joined by a few friends here. This is just kind of a open. I called it open mic night. Like, I mean, I've got zero plan here. I grabbed some books. I've got some random packs, and I said, hey, anybody who wants to jump on, I'd love to talk some books. And look, here comes Ricky. Hey Ricky, what's up?
Hey.
There it is.
And so I'm gonna go around the horn here and just say hi to all you guys. Thanks for being here. So we got Derek from Uncanny Derek, we've got Dope from Dope Comics, we've got Jason from Renegade Rants, and Ricky from All Sorts of Words. The chat is already popping off. We've got, let's see, hi to you, Johnny D and Rich G. And one of my favorite names to say, Big Nasty Comics. Always good to see you. Christina Payne, thank you for being here. There's Mike from Casino Comics. Kay Munin. And let's see, there's Jab. Hey, he says, why didn't I get an invite? Send me a... I'll send you something on Instagram here in just a minute, buddy. If you want to jump in. So thanks everybody for being here. And does anybody have anything they want to start with? Anybody got something cool to show?
I've got a bunch of comics.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of big books that I brought. This is my first time on here, and then I've got my day's pulls too. So I got anything from weird books to big books, whatever y'all want to see.
I'm always gonna vote for weird.
Weird,
especially from you.
well, today I picked up some books. Picked up this Secret Six. Never heard of that, but it's got like a granny on it.
Okay.
That was the draw to the cover.
I have heard of this, and yeah, it's got weird covers. It's like a spy book with weird characters.
Yeah. So
Like Mystery Men or something.
I only read the Secret Six reboot when they got like a limited edition series when they did the Infinite Crisis DC event, and it had like Catman on it and stuff like that. So I know that you got rebooted, but I didn't read the old stuff.
we got some Tarantula.
That cover is so good.
Found that one today.
That's the old Atlas, very short-lived comic book company.
This is one of my favorite stories of all time. When I see these, I picked them up. The Hanged Man of Maze World. Anybody ever read that?
No. Who published that? What is that?
So this guy here, he's on death row, and they tell him his time's up, and they go to hang. They put this cloth thing over his head, and they go to hang him. And right when he gets hung, he wakes up, and he's actually in hell. He's in this maze world, and if he can find his way out of the maze, he comes back alive. If not, he stays dead. So the whole book, he's trying to find his way through Maze World. So
He looks like the first Jason from like Friday 2.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a prisoner that. Well, I'll tell you the end because y'all probably never read it. But at the end of the last book, he finds his way out of the maze, and then he wakes up gasping on the ground, and he's still in prison. They put him back in his jail cell, and that's it. So, but. And then we got Mr. Monster. Anybody read this from 1985?
I've not read it, but I've seen it. It's cool.
It's Eclipse.
Yeah.
And then y'all probably never heard of the skull and the let's see here, the skull and the snowman.
Was there just like a Mad Libs at like the publisher? They just decided like to throw shit together.
Well, you got this woman who's getting grabbed by some monster hands, and then we got a tuxedo guy wearing a knight's hat and
is that the snowman?
I mean,
and then you got this skeleton back here, and his arm's not even connected. So there's probably two skeletons. One's holding the curtain back while the other one's trying to choke him with a chain. So
so not only is that a Mad Lib title, that's like a Mad Lib like it's like the old color form stickers you had as a kid. Like you just slapped that together and said, "There it is."
The cool part about this
I've seen in so many years. Oh my god!
Yeah, it looks like an old pulp or something.
Yeah, it does.
It's great.
But the cool part about this, if you see that in the corner, there's another story in the book, and it's a very early Mike Mignola a Hellboy story. So
Oh,
right on.
Nice.
if you're a Hellboy guy, you'd have to find this book here, The Skull and the Snowman.
So JSS is asking how many Hulk figures you have.
Hulk is my favorite. And while we're talking about Hulk, I might as well just show you. Bye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What?
I got all the Hulks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I got 1 through 6. And they quit after 6, and then they started back up at 102, and I got the rest of them all the way up for a long time. So, yeah, I collect all Hulk stuff. I don't have a clue how many figures I got, but I got it. If I see one, I'll buy it. If I ain't got it, so there's a bunch.
Very cool.
My wife thinks they're all the same thing. She don't get it. So.
Professor is not Mr. Fix-It. Come on.
And then I have this book here. It is a one-eyed Cyclops Bigfoot, and he's getting squirted with toothpaste. So
Is that the title as well?
this is Lost in Space, and they think they can stop him, I guess, with toothpaste. So
I hope
I
that's
don't know.
toothpaste.
he's got 3
It's-
toes.
It's the
So-
Swiss Family Robinson, Space Swiss Family Robinson. I've seen that before too.
And then the only other thing I picked up this week was my main books this week, which I try to get JSA #1. I don't know if you read that.
I haven't read it yet,
And
but I picked it up.
I've already talked about this. I want my money back. And I really love Plastic Man. I don't know if anybody's reading Plastic Man.
Dude, I got it over here too.
I mean, it ain't really got anything to do with Plastic Man, but the story's great. You know what I
It's
mean?
great. Yeah.
And then the last thing I picked up, I don't think any of y'all are reading Sync, but I read Sync. It's from Comic Tribe. It's a cool book.
Awesome.
That's all my run for now. So if anybody else got
Okay.
anything, let's go.
Just as an aside, like I've always wanted Hulk 1. That's my other like big grail. I have X-Men 1 there, but Hulk 1 has always been the next big grail. And yeah, that's awesome. That
Yeah,
2 it was, right?
yeah. I got 2 through 6, and I thought that would do me, and then it was like it made it worse. I'm like, I felt incomplete for years. And I was like, I didn't want to buy it, and then finally I was like, I just got to buy it. So I saved up all my money and I bought it. So
3 and 4 are the ones I really want after because I just love those covers the most out of the whole series. The Tyrannus and the one hidden jumping through space. Is that, yeah.
there's 2, which is the first Green Hulk. And
yeah, show them all. Just do that.
Yeah, do
You
it.
I'd rather you just do that. Yeah, that
There's-
one there. That's
there's
a
3.
Kirby cover, and Ditko did the last one. I think he did 6.
Yeah, I don't like 4 at all with the split. I don't like that one.
No, it's 5 then. The Tyrannus one.
Yeah, 5's cool. 5.
Yeah, I've always loved that cover.
And
just because
usually, if you find this one, all the red's gone and it's pink. Because red's the first color you lose whenever a book starts fading. And then 6. Oh, Metal Master.
Mhm.
So
I think that's the only Ditko Hulk he ever did.
I
I know that's the cover he did there.
Yeah.
But, I don't think Ditko drew any more Hulk after this.
the Hulk on that one is just like there's just something really odd about the way he's drawn, and I love it.
yeah, he's got the bow cut and he's got the underwear. You don't see him in the underwear much. The purple underwear. So,
Well, cool,
stubby.
man. Thanks for sharing some books. Derek, you said you got like 7 or so.
I added a couple while we were
Good.
so just random ass assortment of books that I just randomly thought, hey, this would be interesting to talk about. So just one of the books that are kind of on my pull list. This is an earlier issue, but this is the new Uncanny X-Men. I'm a sucker for Godzilla, and as I have some Godzilla on the wall, but there was a Godzilla cover variant for this, so I had to pick it up there. And yeah, so
That's cool.
that's for modern stuff. Also modern. I like the New 52 Swamp Thing. And I was a big fan of Yannick Paquette, who did the interior and the cover artwork. And I met him at a Fan Expo 2014. I don't know, shortly after New 52 got started. And I asked him about this, or I asked him just about the artwork. And I wanted to show this book off because what he told me was the way he drew this is obviously there's the pencils and inks and all that. But the background, like this textured stuff you're seeing, he said he did this during Thanksgiving, and this is actually turkey skin that he scanned onto the computer and then digitally colored. And I just thought, like, all this bark that you're seeing on the cover is actually turkey skin that has been digitally manipulated. So I
That's
wanted just to showcase that because nobody really knows this story.
yeah, that's a great great bit of trivia.
It's stuff you only learn on this channel.
Yeah, that's
Scratch
this
and
is a
sniff.
Hall Yeah exclusive.
Thanks for that.
So yeah, I just thought that this is Swamp Thing number 6 from the New 52. But yeah, just a really neat idea about creating artwork, scanning turkey skin.
Do you like Man Thing too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a bigger fan of Man Thing than I am Swamp Thing.
I am too. I am too. That's why I was asking.
Oh,
I just
you
picked
Marvel
up.
guys.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of Marvel, I just picked this up recently. This is the New Mutants number 8. This is the first appearance of Magma, who is one of the New Mutants. What I learned, and I didn't like, this is the first appearance. She's in blackface, and
no.
this is just a totally dated book. She's masquerading as one of the native folk in the cover, and then she falls into a river, and her disguise is revealed. She's actually a blonde-haired white woman. So I thought that was just very interesting, and like the reaction of the New Mutants was like, "Oh, you're
Careful now,
white."
that'll get you a cabinet post.
I know, right? But I'm in Canada, so I don't have to worry about that too much, right? Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I also just started reading X-Force again. So I have the entire run, but I also have the omnibus. So I've just been reading Uncanny X-Force because this is probably one of the best X-Men stories ever across the entire series. Like take any X-Force, X-Factor, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, like this Uncanny X-Force is top tier writing. And so I got into a mood again to start reading it. So this is just the first issue. This isn't the first appearance of Uncanny X-Force. They actually appeared at the tail end of Messiah Complex and Uncanny X-Men. But there was that, which segues me into the first appearance of Archangel.
Very nice.
Which is from, wow, this is from the 80s. This is...
Hey, can I ask you to back up a minute, because you and I both love Peter David's run on X Factor. So you're saying Uncanny X-Force is better than that?
Oh, 100%. Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Like
Okay.
Peter David's storytelling and his humor, and like it's all great, and it makes a really good cohesive, length of X Factor story. But Uncanny X-Force is the artwork is incredible. The storytelling is incredible. It's all done in 35 issues. Like it doesn't cross over anything. It's all self-contained. It's just it's awesome, and it's violent, and it's so action-packed, and it's like an action-packed horror.
Have you guys read Peter David's Hulk?
Some of it.
Issues of it, yeah. But I
And
know
it's great. I mean, what I've read of it has been great. Like, Peter David is just a very solid writer.
Speaking
of,
just somebody mentioned She-Hulk in the comments earlier, so
yep.
I was just planning on showing this. This is one of those books that like doesn't deserve to be the price that it's at right now. Like I got this for maybe $1 or $2. I don't remember, like years ago, because that's what the book is worth. But TV series and all that nonsense, and this is now like what? Well, I think it peaked around like 400 or something for near mint, during the pandemic. But I think this is probably a 9.2 at least. Like this is a pretty clean book of She-Hulk. But yeah, I just never get a chance to showcase some of the random books I have. So here's She-Hulk number 1, just because.
Yeah, why
and
not?
It's a pretty lame story. And
did anybody watch She-Hulk?
I did. It was.
I tried. It's very Sex in the City.
It was. I mean, and I loved Dan Slott's run on it, but I don't know. It was hit and miss. The actress that played She-Hulk was in a show called Orphan Black, and she is a tremendous actress. But yeah, that one fell flat for me.
The other main series I'm picking up and I've been thoroughly enjoying is Transformers. The newest Transformers has been absolutely awesome. Who's the author? Daniel Warren Johnson. Every issue has been incredible. They have been emotional. It's such a great retread on the G1 characters, like the original 80s cartoon, and what it just the whole, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge on Transformers. Like the main characters and the ideas behind them and what motivates them are still there, but it's just Transformers for adults, even though you think of it, oh, it's just a toy commercial. No, this is some serious stuff. Like, spoiler alert, first issue, Bumblebee gets his face blown off. Like, and Bumblebee's dead. Done. Cool. Because Wheeljack's my favorite. But Wheeljack and Shockwave are always my favorite, hence the Shockwave. And
yeah, Shockwave's my favorite too.
Hulk, Shockwave, how have we not met before?
Man.
I like Ravage. Yeah.
You guys are going to be BFFs.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't started reading this series yet, like, definitely do it. I think they're already at like the first issue. This is one of the variant covers from issue 1, but I think they're already on like the 10th printing of issue 1 already, because they just can't keep them in stock. They're just such a hot book. So would recommend. And I'm reading G.I. Joe isn't out yet. But I did Destro and Cobra Commander. I tried Duke and Scarlet and but this whole I am late with Void Rivals, so I know I have to pick that up. But yeah, Transformers is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that one out in trade for sure. I've heard nothing but good things.
And then lastly, this is a newer book that I picked up. I know you probably popped in on the Instagram for, I think, a moment there, Nate, just as I unveiled it. And I have a video coming out where I go through this a little bit further. But this is another big X-Men grail that I got off my list, and it's X-Men number 94.
Nice. Oh. Yep. I was there.
So this was the one of the last few big books I need to have my entire run of 1 to 554. I still have a lot of like below number 92 to collect, but like in terms of big books, there's 4 I still need, which is First Brotherhood. I need 12, First Juggernaut, and I need 50, which is Second Polaris, but everybody loves that cover. This probably grades at like a 2.5 to a 3. I'm debating about getting it pressed, and I go through the video. I'm going to be having released probably at the end of the month. Just debating what I'm going to do with this book, because it needs a good press and clean. But I do know the internal staple is detached from the first 2 center folds just at the bottom. So cover's still holding on there. It's just, I don't know if it's going to be worth it to do it. I'm probably going to reach out to who I'm thinking to do the pressing and have them, give me an idea what they think it's going to be done. But yeah, X-Men 94.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup, man. Congrats.
Thanks. That's it.
Eric.
Holy cow, I wasn't barely ready. I'm glad I had pants on.
We all are.
Glad.
We all are. So David from Australia is bringing a little knowledge here, saying Ditko returned to Hulk for Incredible Hulk number 249 and Annual 9. And I don't know. I love Ditko. Silver Age Ditko is so weird, and I'm not the biggest Marvel guy, but I love his Spider-Man. I think it's creepy and alien and cool. Let's see here. I see. Oh, Jason. Put you on the spot. You got anything you want to show off today?
Sure. So I'm an idiot. So
welcome to the club.
Fantastic Four 347. I didn't realize that 3 of my favorite characters are in this and become the Fantastic Four from a wonderful Walt Simonson. So 347 I picked up. And then it was Simonson and Arthur Adams art on it. And then I'm missing 348, which is kind of the bigger of the 3.
Right.
And then I've got 349, and they were the first one was a minor key. I found the first print and the second print. The first print was $3, so kind of need to start expanding my Fantastic Four horizons. And then this one, Nate, you may or may not like, and this may constitute as 5 books, but I don't know if I can pull it out of the package. I don't know if you can see that. So this, I remember buying at Woolworths in the 90s as a child / early teen. And I had this thing, and I didn't know anything about buying bags and boards, but I read this thing like religiously, and I would try to put it back in like I'd slit the top. And this is if you can see the wonderful sticker on it, it was 5 issues for $7.50. What is it? 30 years later, it is now $15 to buy it in the same pack. And I'm still thinking, I don't know if I want to open it now, but I really want to read it. So, but most of it, or I think all of it, was Dan Jurgens' art and Dan Jurgens' story. But this is like the Parallax, just everything came together in kind of a quick, easy read, and it goes from 0 to 4. So, and it's all in the nice collector pack.
Was it
And
0 Hour they just did some kind of little re-release of?
Yep. Yeah, and I know that not too long ago they did a Green Lantern where Hal actually had to do Parallax again, or let Parallax in to free the Spectre or something. I can't remember that one, but I need to get a hold of that. But I don't buy a lot of DC, but like I kind of grew up on DC, if that makes any sense. So, but that one I picked up and went from there. My significant other went to a comic shop and bought me this wonderful. It's a authentic, or it's a JSA authenticized signature from CGC or whatever, from Art Germ. I don't know what the glare there, if you can see that, but it's Wolverine Revenge 1. And I kind of was laughing at her because I'm like, well, if you're going to buy me a slab, I appreciate it. But, I've been to that shop and we could have talked. And I'm like, I'm kind of being a jerk because she picked it up. But then I saw what she paid for it and I went, oh, love of God. Anyway, thank you, honey. And then the last one I've got is I only own 2 slabs, so I figured I'd show them off on this. But back when Morbius was coming out, I found this on eBay. It cost me $18. And I'm like,
pretty good.
That is less than what it would cost to slab it. And I mean, I'm saying $18 shipped.
Holy cow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
I'm going to pick that up, and there's no cracks in it or anything like that. And I'm like, I needed to get it for the Midnight Suns for my Ghost Rider run anyway, to kind of finish that thing off. So, but that is pretty much the 2 slabs that I own. And then I was going to kind of leave it to you, Nate. Do you think I open up the 0 Hour pack, or do I just rebuy another one? Because there's multiples.
Yeah,
Then open that one and then keep one.
If you want one sealed, I would say open it and just get another one that's sealed, or vice versa, if you want to. Or I always say grab the trade.
Or you can just buy the plastic and then reseal it yourself at some point.
Very true.
It's also 0 Hour. That's like dollar bin stuff all day.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just not worth much. Let's see. Ricky, I know what you got. So I don't know. Eric, do you want to jump in with something real quick, or nope? All right.
I'm still fighting with a box, so
okay, no worries. No worries.
All right. So you mentioned Godzilla, Derek, a little earlier, and I didn't know if you had this.
No, I don't. I don't know what
This is the 1976 one-page comic book preview that was given of the movie Godzilla vs. Megalon. This is the first comic book appearance of Godzilla. It is a movie promotion. The guy I bought it from, he went to the drive-in to see it with his brother, and he included the original art from the newspaper that they did. But literally, this is it. This is the cover. That's the interior.
Wow.
And then
so that predates the Marvel one.
This predates every comic book appearance of him, but it's a ghost of a book to find. Pretty much everything I like to show off on my channel and stuff. All sorts of words. Go subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, I like to show off like the really weird kind of stuff, and that's kind of what I'm doing tonight. So, without knowing it, you fellas, and on my friend's channel here, you're all about to become a piece of YouTube history, because no one on the entirety of YouTube has ever showed what I'm about to show you, because no one's ever owned it. Because in the entirety of the internet, I've only found 3 copies that I've ever sold. 2 were sold this year. 1 was sold on Etsy 3 years ago, and then that's it. I'm a huge Addams Family fan. Bye, Casino Comics. I'm a huge Addams Family fan, and in case you didn't know, they were invented by a man named Charles Addams, who submitted Far Side style one sheet gags. So that you'd be reading the New Yorker, and in the middle there'd be a black and white little comic like the Far Side. And he liked reusing characters. And so he did like a little spooky gags where there's a bunch of Boy Scouts building birdhouses, but one kid's building a coffin. And so he liked that type of humor. But in 1938, August 6th, 1938, Charles Addams, this is how old this is. Charles Addams submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society this, which is the first known image of any Addams, and this is the first image of Morticia Addams. And so these are all Golden Age books that I'll be showing. This is the one that's only ever been sold 3 times. This book, I have on my channel lots of videos of me saying I didn't even think this existed until last week. Someone put it up for a 7-day auction that ended on Halloween night at 8 p.m. And thankfully, it didn't go any higher than my maximum secret bid. Because I think people were out spending time with their families, bunch of suckers. But that's the first appearance of Morticia Addams. And then we take you to November 25th, 1939. This is the next appearance of an Addams family member. And this is the first appearance of Lurch.
This is really cool.
And the gag at the bottom is, "Oh, it's you. For a moment, you gave me quite a start." That's the gag.
I don't get it.
He's
I get
clearly okay. Good. Okay, good. There's literally only one of his that I read and I look at, and I'm like, I literally don't get the joke. And I've considered reaching out to some boomers to be like, what is he saying here? This is January 18th, 1941. And this is the first appearance of Uncle Fester. And he's asking for one-way ticket and 1 round trip ticket. So he's clearly going to murder the woman he's with. Then the next Addams family member to appear was November 14th, 1942. And this is also a Charles Addams cover. So the same artist who's doing the Addams family. He did this kind of like plate for World War II to represent like how the conflict was going in Japan. And this is the first appearance of Gomez Addams.
So Morticia was the first Addams, and it took forever for Gomez to show up.
So you gotta remember. So these are just like little 1-panel gags, right? So like he wasn't like telling a story.
Sure.
He was just using images. So the first time like we see Morticia, it's just that gag. Somebody's selling a vacuum and he drew this lady. But he also liked reusing character designs. So later on, he would use Morticia again and again. And then it wasn't until an issue we'll get to later, the first appearance of Granny Frump, where you actually see all the characters in the same room. Up until that point, there's like little combinations here and there, but it wasn't a thing. It's funny because people used to talk about it and they would say like, "Oh, I love those kooky characters. You know, that family that's drawn by Addams." And then over time that became the name.
I don't get it.
But what's cute about this is the tagline at the bottom. "Are you unhappy, darling? Oh, yes, completely." Okay, cool. Cute little gag, right? It's such a deep cut, the Addams Family movie. They everything was such a reference in that movie. If you know what if you know this stuff and you go watch the Addams Family movies, there's so many references that you would only get if you were a New Yorker fan. And that line, the first appearance of Gomez, is the first thing Gomez says to Morticia in the movie. So go back and watch the movie. She's laying in bed and he goes, "Are you unhappy, darling?" And she goes, "Oh, yes, completely."
So they did their research.
Oh, it's crazy. There's one quick shot of the house from the distance. It's a throwaway shot, just an establishing 2-second shot of the house. And in the very foreground, you see a tree, and the tire swing is the little broom that she Wednesday sits on in one of the gags. It's adorable. There's so many references like that. Next is June 19th, 1943. We're still in the 40s. I do love the Addams Family. This is the first appearance of Pugsley. And there's no text, but this is the one where all the kids are working on birdhouses and he's building a little coffin.
Is that a Winston from the Muppets there?
And
Einstein is his name.
what is it? August 26th, 44. This is the first appearance of. I have to be careful because the covers detach. They're very heavily inked covers, so like they pop off all the time. You just got to get over it if you want to collect this stuff. But I have to share this first. This is the cover. The name of this piece. They're all original art pieces. If you didn't know, for the New Yorker, they all commissioned original art for each issue that came out. This one is called "Hide the Booze, the Kids Are Coming Home." And you can see they were like smoking on the table, and yeah, I love this. And yeah, indeed, the kids are coming home. But
And how many kids are packed in that car, man?
Dude, there's like 8. I assume it's college.
You're right. It makes me
but-
think of Archie and his jalopy.
That's I've never thought of that, but now I can't help it. August 26, 1944. This is the first appearance of Wednesday. And the tag at the bottom, I don't even need to read it on camera. I know what it says. It's, "Well, don't come crying to me. Tell him you'll poison him right back." And you see Pugsley being a little dick in the background. But that's the first time you see Mother and the kids. And that's the first time you see Pugsley and Morticia together. Now we get September 30th, 1944. And this is the first Granny Frump, but this is also the first time you see the entire family together. That's them. They're just going over like their vacation photos, and they're talking about what a great trip it was in the swamp. Okay.
Hey, Jonathan.
There's only 3 left. This is the entire clan. Okay, this is I added this into the family. This is November 10th, 1945. And this is the first appearance of the house. And it does say "Beware the Thing," which is kind of cute.
Oh.
Then this is the last of the original clan appearances, and this is the only character who gets named. It's important to remember that until 1964, when the TV show was made, it's just these gags. They're just sight gags in the books, right? So no one's ever like, "Hello, Morticia." "Oh, hello, Gomez." No one talks like that. So the only time a character ever is named in these original appearances is October 12th, 1963. It's a Basquiat cover. It's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
And then this, and the only reason we get the name is because it's part of the gag. He says, "Yes, this is it speaking." And then the last thing I'll show you, just because I'm such an Adams psycho, and I know that they do have their first comic appearance, not special. But what is special about this comic is because I couldn't think of anything more to represent the Freaky family than a double cover.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
Cool.
But that's my Addams Family collection. No one's ever seen one online. I swear when I started collecting it, I was like, I would have loved to have been able to see these books. And like know what I'm looking for and know what I'm hunting for. You know what I mean? But like the resources don't exist. So I made them. I made 2 Addams Family videos on my channel. One of them is called "Everything Comic Collectors Need to Know About the Addams Family." It's an hour because it's a lot. But if you go into the description of the video, I made a Word document that includes me paying for a New Yorker subscription, so I could go through their digital archives and go issue by issue and catalog all the Charles Addams appearances. And I put it up as a Google Doc for free, so everybody can go look. And
Wow.
if you see these in the wild, you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and
Good
I
man.
will. I number one, well done. First appearance of the Addams Family on the internet. And you brought it here, so thank you for that. Everybody should check out that hour-long video. The deeper Ricky goes into the rabbit hole, like his hair just starts. You see him starting to go mad as he gets deeper and deeper into the lore. Belle wants to know, Ricky, what did you think of the Wednesday Netflix show?
So I'll say the same thing I say to everybody when they think that I'm the nerd that gets mad when there's new TV shows or stuff. Like, when you're like, those nerds that are like, "Oh, don't remake anything." No, I want to buy the lunch boxes. I want the t-shirt. I want everything. So whenever they remake something, whenever they do something, it just means more content for me to eat. I don't know if you can see it, but right back there on the top of my light, it's the only place I could fit it in my room. I got the Burger King crown from when they released the Burger King meal of the Addams Family. Like anytime there's Addams stuff, I want to support them, and so like, yeah, I'll watch the hell out of it. I've watched it twice now.
You've watched through it twice?
Oh yeah, it's delightful, and there are references, not nearly as many as like the movie. The movies were like legit a love letter to those New Yorker strips, but the Addams Family Wednesday show is more chock with references from the stuff that Tim Burton grew up with. So that's where we get like it's a lot more TV show references in it, but still, it's great.
It was, I really enjoyed it. And my son, I'm trying to think, I guess last year when it came out, he would have been 9. And it was his first like horror show that we watched together as a family. And there were moments, you know, that were a little intense for him, but I was so proud of him because I'm like, I'm going to have you watching Nightmare on Elm Street in a year or two, buddy. It's going to be awesome. Like,
So I take it you like the MC Hammer video, the Addams Family.
Oh, it's all great. It's all great. They do what they want to do, say what they want to say.
yeah, they do.
The big pants.
And just as a reminder, Jab wants to know, didn't you get sick eating that stuff, earning that crown, or was that
no?
Beetlejuice?
That was the Beetlejuice meal at Denny's gave me the Beetle poops. The Addams Family meal. So this is interesting, and I'm telling you, every time there's an opportunity for me to learn something about the Addams Family, I go deeper. The Wednesday burger, it was a Wednesday Whopper, and it was purple. That was the gimmick of it, right? They made it purple because it was an entirely sweet potato bun. And you're eating it, and it is literally the densest thing. Like, the only way I can simulate eating it is get a loaf of bread and like 6 slices and squish them and take one bite. That's every bite of the burger. The thing shits 2,000 calories.
Oh my God.
For the single burger. And then they want to add in a Morticia shake, which is like 750. My ass jiggled for a week after I ate that. I grew a third tit like in Total Recall. It was crazy.
That's outstanding. Very nice, Ricky. I'm so glad you. I can't believe you got that because, like you said, it seemed like it was a ghost. You know?
Yeah, it does. It literally doesn't exist. There's been 3 that's been sold. If you can find it, seriously, find it and sell it to somebody like me. Like, talk to me for real. No, this is for real. For anybody out there, if you find that book or any of those books, tell me and I can hook you up with the people who want to buy them, but they just don't exist. Like, ever since I made those Addams Family videos, I found myself in the center of like these like old boomers who are just like, oh, I thought nobody cared about this shit. So like they're looking for it and they want to buy. So like if you want to sell something and you find it, let me know and I'll just connect you guys and you can do it.
You're their young friend. They're like, oh, I'm so glad someone still appreciates the Addams Family.
At 39 years old, they're like, oh, you're the youngest guy I've ever met.
All right, Eric, what'd you bring to the show today?
All right, so I had to do a little bit of wrestling because I got a box today. Most of it I won't bother showing because it was all like Mark Spector Moon Knight. I'm chasing that series. But I did get a couple things that I pulled out of here. First thing I want to show you, I dug this out because, as you noticed, Nate, I did some cleaning.
Yeah, I saw.
No more Halloween books.
I saw your video, number 1, and number 2. I seem to see a ferret or 2 peeking out back there on the bottom row.
But as I was cleaning, I never got to show this one through my Halloween covers, so I'll show it to you because I know you absolutely love this cover.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite cover of the Dazzler series was this one. And this was actually the last one I had to find for the series. This thing was a ghost around me. I couldn't find it anywhere. Number one, all over the place. This one, couldn't find. And it took me a while, but I finally
when you do find it, people want way too much for it.
That was the other thing. I was either finding it beat to shit or it was like way more than what I wanted to spend on it. And it was still beat to shit.
Right.
So, it took me a while to find a nice, decent copy. So thought I'd show you that one. But some of the stuff I wrestled out of my box. So I think in the last year, I kind of got turned on to the old 70s Marvel magazine format. So, the horror stuff, because they're getting around the comic code and stuff. One of the ones I just started picking up and I think this is a series that kind of more or less made him really blow up in popularity, but was Rampaging Hulk.
Yeah.
Is one of those series that, again, these magazine formats from the 70s, whether they're Dracula Lives or Tales of the Zombie, you know, that kind of stuff, they're hard to find in good condition. So when I see them in good condition and for a decent price, I'm going to pick them up, because this is something I totally missed out on as a kid. I was too young when these were out. So this is me going back and being like, oh, I missed the train on this one. So yeah, I found 1 and 2 and I picked them up.
He's punching a robot.
Yeah, there's 27 of those. I've got all 27 of them, and the hardest one to find is 23.
Okay. And I know they changed the title too. Like, what, they're at 12, 13, something like that. So I think that's a reason that they're hard to find too. People just, a lot of times when you go to shows, the dealers don't like bringing these things. So I don't see them at shows a whole lot. And when I do, I'm all over them.
I was just thinking about this because those Marvel magazines, especially, or like Eerie or Creepy or any of that stuff, you used to see it a lot. Like, you know, I'm thinking like, you know, 20 years ago when I would go to shows, I'd see them all over the place and they were cheap. Like people couldn't give them away. And I don't know what happened, but you're right. Like, I don't see those magazines hardly at all anymore. And when I do, they are expensive.
I still see like Savage Sword of Conan. That was one that got me started looking at those because of all the black and white art. I love black and white art. And the same thing, I see those, they're usually beat to hell because they didn't have bags and boards back in the 70s to put these things. People were putting them in whatever bags they could. So you're just lucky to find them sometimes.
Matt, yeah, I'm glad I got in and completed Vampirella when I did, because it is a pain now. You can't find them.
That's another one too. That's like when I see those ones, Ricky, I look at the covers and I'll admit I'm a cover buyer. If I see a good cover for Vampy, I'm gonna grab it. I'm nowhere near what you are with it.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, if I see some of those old ones with that old classic artist on it, I'm gonna grab them, because you don't see art like that anymore in any comic form. It's something about that classic art form that I really am drawn to. All right. Anyway, so these ones are late Halloween ones that I got. Here's another one I've been questing for forever, and I finally found one. This one, it looks beautiful. I think it does have a little tear on the back, but for the price, I think I paid $25 for this. I'm okay with that, because this one can be kind of an expensive book. And it was the last one I needed for the darn series. It's always the big book that you need last. And this one, I'm super jazzed about this one. I found a copy of Witching Hour #1. I've never seen this in the wild, so when I saw it, I snatched it up. I mean, it's pretty good copy. I think it's a mid-grade, but just the fact that I never see this one. Never. I always see, 30s, 40s, the late runs, but I never see under 20. So I had to get this one. Beautiful copy. Love the art. This is one of those series from the 70s. This one and Ghosts. That's another one I've been picking up. I just love the artwork, the covers on them. They're usually so goofy, and when they have the dialogue boxes. I love the dialogue boxes.
I just finished that Witch Hour run. It's 1 through 85. It's really good.
Yeah, there's some good stories in there too. I mean, it was under the code, but still, it was creepy. The art was creepy.
Yeah.
All right, this one I couldn't resist because I know I probably can't afford the actual original, but I got the old reprint of her first appearance. Yeah, I just want to read it.
Here goes Ricky.
He's going to make me jealous.
It's okay. I have the Milestone one as well. I also have the Milestone, the Showcase First Lois Lane.
Okay.
Because again, it's out of my price range.
Yeah, and if you're lucky enough to find one that's in good shape and good price, yeah. Oh, there we go, Ricky.
And there it is.
We can kind of be twinsies. I don't know. Yours is better than mine.
There it is. A 4.0, man. That's nice.
It's nice. Yeah, so I can at least say I can read it now. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right, this next one, Nate, you're going to absolutely love. This is number 454 of Action Comics. This cover, when I saw it, I about lost it. I'm like, oh my God. He went to McDonald's and he's binge eating hamburgers. I mean,
and I love the arches in the background too. Like it's not McDonald's, but it's McDonald's.
It's
cracks me up. I mean, what she's like, more burgers, chomp, keep them coming, gulp, or I'll starve to death. What? But you've already eaten enough for an army.
That's great.
I love the stupid man covers.
I do
oh
too.
My God, they're so funny. They're so funny. I love them. And then I think you showed this one, Nate, and it just showed up for me. I have to get an 80s sports coat elf. I mean, he looks like he's getting ready to go sing, Heart of Rock and Roll or something.
It's amazing. He's got his popped collar, his skinny tie halfway down because he's already been rocking, but he's also gonna keep rocking.
I might have a skinny tie like that somewhere.
I'm sure I do. The piano one, one with piano keys.
It's probably packed with the parachute pants, right?
Right.
All right, and this one purely cover by. I probably will never read it, but Bill Sienkiewicz covered.
Yeah.
Marvel Mastery of Wolverine. I showed this to my wife with one of his other pieces that he did from Moon Knight, and it's like you can see the style difference, but see the similarity. This is where he was really getting, abstract, I guess you'd call it, with the painterly style. But very cool cover.
Very cool.
And then last but not least, I have some 90s goodness. Can you take a guess what the gimmick is?
Man,
Gatefold.
I've seen so much.
Holograms.
Foil.
Oh, there we
Foil.
go. Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
A
Secret
foil.
Defenders.
Look at that lineup. All your favorite guys.
I know. It's got
Nomad.
Is that
Nomad
Nomad.
and Darkhawk on the same team.
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman 3.
And then, of course, you put Wolverine and everything in the 90s.
He was on every
right?
team. Still is.
Yeah.
Still is.
But yeah.
Yeah. I have more issues of that run than I care to admit because I thought Nomad or Darkhawk was in it longer than they were. Like it's kind of like a rotating,
Now my excuse is because I'm still working on the original Defenders line.
I am too.
So I'm like, oh, it's got Defenders in it. I got to get it, right?
Yeah.
So
I had to get that one because of Darkhawk and Nomad.
yeah, I figured
Very,
that much.
very nice books, my friend. All right. Hey, I saw Dope. Did you go run and grab something? Cool.
He was showing these Hulk magazines, and these Hulk magazines are a lot more risque than the actual comic, I guess, because they didn't have to put the comic code authority on them because they were magazine size instead of comic. And this is the one that this is the high dollar one. This is the one everybody wants. It's not high, but it's a little bit higher than the rest of them. But the reason it is because there's attempted rape of Bruce Banner in here.
Wow.
So he goes and gets in the shower, and these two guys follow him in the shower. One watches the door while the other guy tries to rape him. And then
Where does this happen? Like the YMCA?
yeah.
It is the 70s.
And he goes running out in the hall, out behind the building, and starts crying. And then finally he turns into the Hulk. So it takes him a long time to turn into the Hulk. So I think he might have liked it. So, but you can see people they're holding the door. They've got him all trapped.
Didn't he, like, I don't want to talk about this too much, but was there not like a rape when Future Imperfect? Like, didn't that happen to Hulk?
I don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure that Peter David's Future Imperfect with Maestro that happened.
That sounds familiar to me.
This is another one people like to get because they'll get Lou Ferrigno to sign.
Lou Ferrigno, yeah.
So
Very cool.
That's a whole new meaning of Hulk smash.
yeah.
Don't resist it.
Oh, tish.
This is getting inappropriate, guys.
Getting there.
Nice first show, Nate. What the heck?
I didn't put up a family friendly or anything.
There you go.
Live streams are okay. I'm just going to go through. All right. So I've got some pickups that I made today, and some of them are overlaps with some things that I saw some of you guys show. And then I've got an Ollie's random pack, and we're going to see if it actually has the value it says it does.
Ooh.
First thing, and Derek, this goes with the Transformers. So this is The Moon is Following Us by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Okay.
This is only on issue 2. I think this has real potential, sci-fi fantasy wise. It is about it's about 2 parents, and their daughter has she's basically in a sleeping coma. She can't be woken up. And so they, through science, they are in her brain, in her dream. And so her toys, there's this whole kingdom aspect to it. The art is gorgeous. The story's interesting. This is one of my favorite things I've picked up recently. And it's also one of the reasons, when I hear everybody say how good Transformers is, I'm I want to check that out too, because I'm enjoying this. This is the first Daniel Warren Johnson, to my knowledge, that I've read.
That storyline reminds me. Do you guys remember a TV show in the 90s, early 90s, called The Odyssey? It was kid was in a coma, and he was.
Hey, Steven.
Holy shit! Core memory unlocked. Yeah, and then
and he had his friends in the dreams.
All the kids were in the dream too.
And they were
Holy
trying to
shit.
pull him out back from his. It just sounds like The Odyssey in a way.
Yeah.
Anyway, deep cut there. Enjoy.
Yeah, something like that. So Dope loved this. Check out his video on Absolute Superman. This was I read it immediately when I got home, and it was meh. It was out of all of them, this was the one that was the least impressive to me. I don't feel like they did a ton that was different, but to each their own.
It's hard to turn it off, the story that we've known since the 1930s.
Yeah,
and redo everything.
And I don't feel like they did a lot different. There's still Krypton. There's still, he is alone. I don't know. I don't know. There was one panel in there when Lois shows up that literally made me groan out loud. I was just it was so hacky. Cruel Universe, I'm thinking about dropping. I love my anthology horror, but this has been diminishing returns. Kind of all the EC stuff. Have you been getting these, Dope?
I did, and I dropped them both. The covers are amazing, but the first one, if you got, Epitaph for Abyss, the cover was amazing. Yeah. Then you open it up and it's Stickman figures in there.
Yeah. The stories, I've actually enjoyed this one more than Epitaphs from the Abyss, but if this one doesn't really blow me away, I'm probably going to drop this, because Hello Darkness is a much better anthology.
Yeah. I like Hyde Street. Hyde Street's the one I read.
And yeah, I've heard that's good too. This one, I don't know. I want to like it so much more. So Ricky, this is Mark Russell is writing this. Mark Russell has written a lot of great books. One that Ricky and I both love is the Flintstones series that he did, which is just so brilliant. This is the first issue was pretty good. The second issue was horrible. The third, nothing happened. And then in the third issue, they got me back. They introduced this character named Granny Smite, and she's literally just an old lady, and her mutant power is that she can't die, but she really wants to. And they're, it's they're a corporate TikTok super team. And as they die, they get put back in. Eric's shaking his head.
I'm an X-Men guy, and I don't like it. They keep doing Havoc wrong. I think since the 90s, I don't like it.
I have no skin in the game outside of it says X Factor, and X Factor is one of my favorite X books, the Peter David run.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I really like Mark Russell, but it's just been so it's been good or bad all in the same issue.
I've been thoroughly enjoying that series.
Did you like the second issue? Because nothing happened, and I was I need $5 back because nothing happened.
So I will concede that it is it peaks and drops dramatically.
Yes.
But I didn't mind the second issue because it was still, the whole book is one big meta commentary on not only X Factor, but military industrial complex, and also how we consume media, including the book that we're reading.
Yeah.
And
it's the Masked Singer of X-Men books.
I guess. I don't know. I haven't watched an episode.
They got a game show out of it.
It's so good. I'm enjoying it greatly.
Okay. I love Jeff Lemire. a new #1. I'll pick it up. I'll give it a try. I saw Dope. You had the other cover of this, but
Yeah.
Missed that
know,
one.
Yeah.
Dr. Fate's a personal favorite character. I'm not a huge JSA guy, but I just, with Jeff Lemire on this, I had to at least check it out. He is a solid writer.
Mr. Scott on that cover, so I'm kind of interested in it.
Yeah.
Did you
and
read
then-
Danger Street?
Yes.
No, I did like that. That's the best.
Yes.
That's the best
Now-
DC I've read in a long time.
Wait, Danger Street was Tom King, though, not Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, but it's got Dr. Fate in it.
Yes, it does. It was very good. And then Plastic Man No More, Dope showed earlier. This is just like body horror and just great. Like Plastic Man is literally decomposing is the story, and he's just trying to not be the jerk that he is. It's
Well,
wonderful.
To me, it's like a dad dying with cancer or something, and he's trying to make everything right before he dies.
And I just like he's one of those characters, like he's trying to do the right thing, but he's still kind of a terrible person, but you're still rooting for him. However it is that the writer, Mark Cantwell, has managed to balance that, I'm not sure, but like, I'm really rooting for Plastic Man, even though like he's always making terrible choices. And then this one, nobody's reading, but more people should. And it's called Skin Police, and it's only on the 2nd issue. It's about like, it's kind of like a dystopian future where people can't have babies anymore, but they make it so that it's illegal to clone people, but people clone themselves. And then later on, what happens is the clones literally go insane and start murdering everybody. And so the Skin Police, their job is to go find these people who are clones. And it's just, I kind of have a feeling I know where it's going to go with the main character. But I know you can't get a good look at the art in this low res StreamYard format, but it has shades of Jeff Darrow to it. Jeff Darrow's Hard Boiled, and I really don't know. I like the idea. The story is in issue 1 was really well paced, so I'm hoping that continues.
Is that a miniseries or ongoing series?
I don't know. It's you know what? It's from Oni Press, which I have not really seen much from them at all. But Eric, I did think of you when I saw in the back something that they've got coming out here real soon. Guess what's relaunching?
Oh, I've seen an ad for that, and I already told my store. I'm like, you better be ordering this.
It's Sectars.
Heck yeah. See that one guy right there is the guy I had, where you put your hand in the glove, and
Oni's the one putting out all the EC titles too.
So, all right. So I got this Ollie's pack. It's got 5 books in it, and it's supposed to be a $14.95 or better value for $5.99. So I have bought these before, and I am going to say I am full of doubt. Oh, of course, I need some scissors.
You got teeth, man.
I don't know. It's kind of a thick bag.
You're a thick bag.
Yeah, nice.
Got him.
So whenever you like find these, the way they used to pack them in these loose bags so that you could kind of like shift and see what was in there, but now they've like really sealed them up. So
I remember trying to roll them up in the plastic bag to see what all they were. Yeah.
So is this an American thing? These Ollie's bags, like you pick them in a store, or?
Well, Ollie's is this discount where they buy overstock from other places. So like if it doesn't sell, it ends up at Ollie's. So you've never seen so many toys from the Disney movie Wish in your life. I was in there, and I mean there were so many. So the whole reason I bought it was because this one was on the cover. It's a Triangle Era Superman, and I do like the 0 hour, like there you go, Jason. But I like all these different styled Batman on the cover. This is one I didn't have, and I'm putting that 90s run together. All right. See, this is why. Hey, speaking of Oni, never heard of this. Courtney Cumrin.
Oh,
is that #1?
It's #1, baby.
I think it's Crumrin, but you're reading with your heart.
I was reading. I was hopeful. But yeah, this is a first issue, so I'd have to look that up.
It doesn't say collector's issue anywhere on it.
It doesn't.
It's not foil. So what's the point?
This will be one for the nerds. This will go a little deep nerd. Anybody know what this is? Gloomhaven Fallen Line.
yeah.
Oh yeah. You want me to go get the 20-pound box
Yeah.
downstairs.
It's okay. I've got one downstairs too. So this is an awesome, like, you know,
Wow.
RPG style tabletop board game in a, you know, like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but more pre-made. So that's kind of interesting to me. I had no
Maybe
idea.
check to see if that has like a scenario. I heard sometimes they put stuff like that in those little promotional whatever for
yeah.
that game. They might have a special, unique scenario for you.
That would be cool. They're definitely advertising the crap out of the game. Jaws of the Lion, Frosthaven,
There you go.
which I didn't buy any of those. No, I'm not seeing a module. I guess I'm just going to have to enjoy the story.
Yeah.
I might have to save this one for last. That is weird. Okay, to Burger Books. Oh, it's a dark horse. Tomorrow? Anybody? Peter Milligan.
I see why they put the Batman on the front.
Yep. Yep. Okay, 2 more to go. Micronauts #1 from Image. So I got 2 number 1s out of that, but I thought Micronauts was a Marvel property.
It's actually a Kenner. I think it's Kenner property. Marvel had the license for a while. So I remember when Image got the license for that. I don't think they really did much with it other than a couple issues.
Okay. All right. The last one is a DC book. I've never heard of this in my life, and it has the best title I've ever seen. This is Neon Joe Werewolf Hunter, #2.
Oh my gosh.
Number 2.
#2.
Nice.
What is this?
Maybe #1. They just said skip #1. We're just going to give you #2.
Okay. A little bit more context. Something from Adult Swim. So maybe it's kind of, you know, Tim and Eric-y sort of. I have no idea. Neon Joe Werewolf Hunter. I
Sounds
love
amazing.
it. I
Might
love
need
it.
to read that one.
I'm gonna check it out. I will. It actually feels kind of like, it doesn't feel even like a full comic. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
feels promotional, like it's like half of a book. But Neon Show, which if you were in Neon, that would really be a detriment to hunting werewolves, I would
Yeah,
think.
it's hard to do.
It's no skeleton head in the snowman, that's for sure.
That's how skilled he is.
He doesn't even have to hide.
We just come see me.
Who knows? So at the end of the month, I think I'm going to do it on Tuesday this month because like it's the last week of the month is Thanksgiving. But this is the book I want to do for my graphic novel book club. This is Black Hole. It's another, you know, chunky boy. And I have to be real careful about what I show because this thing is full of wieners. Matter of fact, one of my favorite transitions is like it's a full page of a naked guy. And then you turn the page, and the next page is them roasting hot dogs in a fire. But it's very, very thick brush line, black and white. Charles Burns is the writer and artist. Everything he does is very weird. And I just freaking love it. So I read this many years ago, and it's about it's about high school kids and like doing all the things that high school kids do. But in this book, when you have sex, the STD that you get is you get your body transformed. And some people are just like horrifically transformed. Some people get like a tail. Other people people are turning into monsters. And this guy here is one of the more basic ones, but he kind of gets this like I don't know, kind of beastish mouth, if you can see that. But there's there's a lot of you know, drug and just teenage issues with some weird metaphor that I don't know if I get it or not. It's been a long time since I read it, so maybe when I reread it, it'll come back to me.
I'll be there.
Ricky will be there. Did you order a copy or did you find one to read?
I ordered it this moment because I was like, oh, I wonder how much it is. And then I looked it up and it's currently on sale for like $18.
That's not bad. I actually got a used copy on Amazon. I think I told you, Ricky, I pulled a Ricky. I bought the bottom out. So like I found one that was like, it was $5.99 and then the shipping was $2.99 on top of that. And that was like the cheapest, that was the cheapest combo I could get. So I bought it off of Amazon bookseller. So that's that's all I brought. I have been so busy these last couple of weeks with holiday Halloween. My son's birthday is right at the same time. My work has been insane. Like making videos has been difficult for me to make happen. I started filming some stuff and just couldn't get it finished, but I still wanted to make something and hang out. So I just thought I'd throw out this idea, and I appreciate you guys answering the call and just jumping on and showing some books and chatting with me. I definitely appreciate everybody in the chat. Holy cow, there's 20 people here watching our ridiculousness right now.
Awesome,
so thank
chat.
you. Yeah, awesome. Thank you everybody who's here. I just saw Big B sneak in. And
everybody subscribed to everybody. I realized I wasn't subscribed to like 4 of y'all, and so I while people were talking, I went through and I was subscribing, so you'll see me pop up.
And I want to shout out Richard Westfall. He's the only guy with a blue wrench on my channel, and he is just doing a great job. He was dropping links all throughout. I saw him do that. But yeah, if there's anybody you see here on this panel, and a lot of the people in the chat as well have channels that are just wonderful. So everybody here, if you see them, they're good people. Please check their stuff out. And that's it. Any parting words, gentlemen?
It was fun.
It was fun. All right.
Nate, there's an auction this coming weekend. I don't know when it's going to be, so I'm going to try to drop a video, but Heroes for Heroes is coming up.
Okay.
So this weekend, they're going to be, I know Big B and a couple other people are going to be doing like art.
Yes.
That you can watch them do that and then bid on the art that they do. I think Comic Tropes is going to be doing something, or he might be doing it ahead of time.
Very cool.
And then, so that's going to be this coming weekend. Is November 10th. I think they said 7 p.m., but I know that I think they may be Pacific Coast. So Big B wants to throw something in the chat now. So
well, he wants to jump on, but I can only have 6 people. I just
why don't you kick me off, and he can talk about the Heroes for Heroes thing.
All right.
That way that works.
Jason, thank you so much for being here and volunteering to do that, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. All right. All right. So let's see. I'm not going to ban him, though. I'm just going to kick him. All right, Big B, I just shot you a link, brother. If you want to jump on here, I'll let you come up and say your piece, because that's definitely something we're
Richard just
about.
put a link, I think, for it, too.
Excellent. Anybody else have anything coming up anytime soon they want to plug?
I have an interview with Justin from No Good Comics in about an hour. I think it's live. I don't know.
Very cool.
Don't know how I promote.
Video coming out next week. I have a new intro video and song, and I've updated my audio, and I got a new logo. So
I saw your new logo, Derek.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw your logo was updated too. I was like, look at that guy doing stuff, Brian.
Yeah.
So Brian.
Oh, that is awesome. Sorry to steal anyone's thunder, but there's Martin, the Aussie comic book collector, saying that Wombat Man issue 2 is almost at the printers. That's exciting.
Sick.
I love it. All right. Hey, Big B. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can.
There we go. Sorry.
Please plug away, my friend.
Okay, so we lost our host for our show this weekend, so we're scrambling. We got a few irons in the fire. We're going to get that straightened out. So stay tuned for an announcement of where the show is going to be hosted. It may end up being hosted on my channel, but we've been trying to get some bigger channels to volunteer to host the art stream. So currently efforting on that. But yeah, I also want to put the word out that I also want to do another art or another stream. There's going to be an ancillary stream for Heroes that I want to invite anybody and everybody to come on to. Even if you are not artistically talented, I'd love to let people purchase commissions from you. It could be Wolverine with 3 legs and 1 arm and the head that looks like Batman, but whatever. It be signed by you.
You won't like the third leg I draw on him, but
hey, some people might like that. But I think it would be cool to get people involved in every aspect and shout it out. So if you aren't familiar with Heroes for Heroes, it's a fundraiser for Mission 22, which supports veterans and their specifically mental health issues. A lot of veterans deal with PTSD, depression, a lot of that stuff. So it's like very important that that gets taken care of before they do something that's irrevocable. So yeah, so that's Mission 22. And then on the 16th on Bronze Age Nerd, I do know that one's happening on that channel. That's going to be the charity fundraiser auction. It sounds like Richard might be actually here at my house, and we might be doing the live stream from here with me, Richard, and Bronze. Richard
Very
Westfall,
cool.
who is
Yes, super fan extraordinaire.
Yeah, he may be making the trip up here to the Great White North and hanging out with us. So yeah, so those are particulars on that. And there's something else. Oh yeah. So is it okay if I talk about the channel membership thing?
Sure.
All right. So I just recently got monetized, for all those of you who don't know. And so I'm
Congratulations.
thank you. Channel membership giveaways. So I'm going to be doing them every month. And so there's 3 levels for my membership. So it's just $2.99, which is the basic supporter. The idea is just to help me get like better equipment. I need a better mic and stuff. So, so then there's a $4.99 level, which is called Dollar Bin Diver. So for that level, I'm going to be giving away X-Men #1. It's facsimile edition #1. Showcase 22. No, it's a facsimile edition Showcase 22. But this is a $4.99 level. You'll be getting all this, or somebody will win this. And then the entire Shadecraft miniseries from Image Comics, kind of a horror anthology or a horror series. Very popular one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on that. And then also the J. Michael Straczynski first volume of the trade paperback of Spider-Man with really cool cover art by J. Scott Campbell, and it's got all the other covers that he did for these particular books inside. So that's cool. So that's just, if you're a $4.99 channel member, you can win all of that stuff. And then there's a $9.99 one called Key Collector. And for that one, we're pulling out all the stops. And if you've ever wanted to own Batman Vengeance of Bane, the first appearance of Bane, in a nice high-grade copy, near mint plus copy of Vengeance of Bane, the first appearance of Bane, and also giving away 2 9.8 slabs, Bryce Comic exclusive, numbered to 950 Spider-Gwen annual #1.
Wow.
And a 9.8 number 2 950 Venom #25 Bryce Comic exclusive. So actually probably be better if I didn't have that in front of it so you could see the actual art. But I'm prepared.
All right. I don't know if you saw there in the chat, Big B, but both Coach and Big Nasty Comics thanking you, and they're both veterans as well. We do have veterans in the community as well.
Thank you for your service. I mean that's yeah. I mean Bronze and I, leading up to this and talking to folks who are going to be donating really cool stuff, but just a lot of them either are veterans or have family or friends who are veterans. And I've just heard so many amazing stories that just like, bring you to tears about like people who needed help, who didn't get it, and wish that this service would have been offered to them. And then, it's important. So
it is important, and it's very, very cool of you to put that together. So do me a favor, and I will edit this. #1, I'll put everybody's links in there, but I'd like to put a link to your Heroes for Heroes as well. So if you'll send me that link, I'll edit that into the description here. Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah,
All
thanks
right.
for having me on.
Absolutely. No, thanks for jumping on, man. Well, that's the difference between East Coast and West Coast. But yeah, this community, we're all over the world, man. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And I will see you next time. All right.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Ending the stream, which is always going to be awkward.